Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting Dragon Ball Super discussion. As always, if you all are new to the channel, make sure that you guys hit us up and smash that subscribe button, as well as ding ding ding, ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever we do these live streams. We have tons of great content, whether it be Skullgirls gameplay, college lifestyle vlogs, Dragon Ball Super discussions, or even new Young Justice news. Make sure to stay tuned to the nickabenson channel. Now enough for the plug, let's jump right in. So this video is called Goku plus Kachi Katchin, which is the strongest material in the multiverse that we know of. Katchin is the material that is used in the Dragon Ball Z series and is demonstrated to be the strongest material in Universe 7. In Dragon Ball Super, we're introduced to Kachi Katchin, which is supposed to be more durable than the Universe 7 variant, showing that Kachi Katchin would be stronger than Katchin, and the idea that they would use it for the tournament arena for the Universe of Power. As far as we know, Kachi Katchin is the strongest, most durable material in the entire multiverse, as far as we know, at this current point in time. So imagine what would happen if Goku was made of Kachi Katchin. We're going to talk about some of the benefits as well as some of the downsides as we continue through this discussion and how that may impact how it works. First, let's talk about whether or not this could ever possibly happen in the canon Dragon Ball universe, and I would argue that it is possible due to shapeshifting being something that's been around since original Dragon Ball, and the fact that if one masters shapeshifting, it can allow them to, as stated by the Daisenshu, transform into anything. I actually have an entire video on the channel already talking about why can't everyone in Dragon Ball shapeshift. If you guys are interested in learning more about that, also it'd be helpful to just watch that video for more context for what we're going to talk about in this one. I recommend that you check it out. It's only about 14 minutes or so. Continuing on with this video, if Goku was to master shapeshifting, it wouldn't be that much of a jump in logic that Goku should be able to shapeshift his body into being made out of Katchin. And you may be like, well, how would Goku be able to move while made out of Katchin? Well, that would be a part of the shapeshifting technique, is that he would shapeshift himself into Katchin, in which it would be a way where he could still move. I know that doesn't really answer anything, but you can transform into anything, right? So Goku should have the ability to transform himself into a version of himself that he imagines that's made of Katchin but can still move. That would pretty much be the whole argument, that would be included into anything. Even if it seems like it would be impossible for you to move while being made out of Kachi Katchin, anything includes concepts that you could view as being impossible. So he could also transform into a version of himself made out of Kachi Katchin. So one benefit to being made out of Kachi Katchin might be being able to use higher levels of Kaioken. And this argument I'll try and support with evidence. So the Kaioken, as mentioned in the Daisenshu, has amazing abilities, but one downside to the Kaioken is what it does to the user's body. Because it is impossible to multiply excessively far beyond one's abilities, experimenting with unreasonably high Kaioken might destroy one's own body. But if your body is made out of a material that is so powerful that it is the strongest, most durable material in the multiverse, could it be possible that Goku's current ability, his current strongest form that we've seen, air quotes, there is definitely some debate about that, Kaioken Blue, if he could push Kaioken Blue even further, if he wouldn't have to worry about his body breaking due to the strength and durability that Kachi Katchin has. However, one could argue that Kachi Katchin is not really that strong. And the main argument for why it's not really that strong would probably have to be the Tournament of Power. So in the current Tournament of Power, it seems like Kachi Katchin is terrible. And it's not like it's like kind of terrible. It's incredibly super ass. It's not strong at all. Now I'm not saying they lied to us. I'm not saying that the Tournament of Power stage isn't made out of Kachi Katchin, because we've straight up been told, like, yes, it is. It's definitely made of Kachi Katchin. But we've seen it get wrecked by things that I wouldn't have expected before. For one, in the Tournament of Power, when they first start up, we get to see Gods of Destruction battle above the Tournament of Power arena, and the shockwaves from their hits cause destruction to the tournament stadium. Now, I'm not surprised by that, right? They're Gods of Destruction. What would you think would happen? They way outrank what you may imagine, for like just a common fighter. So I think it's fine for the Tournament of Power arena to have taken damage from ultra powerful Gods of Destruction fighting on it. But we recently, in an episode of Dragon Ball Super, saw Kale hit Super Saiyan Berserk, and by simply walking on the stadium, walking in the arena, her footsteps caused the arena to break. Energy blasts as she rained from the sky caused the ground to turn to rubble, with rocks everywhere. If Kale's mere footsteps can hurt the strongest material in the multiverse, couldn't imagine that a Goku made out of Kachi Katchin could push Kaioken much farther, if any farther, from his current form. You can almost argue that our characters have become so powerful that their own physical durability outmatches that of Kachi Katchin. So, do I think Goku would be able to push his abilities further? It's debatable. I feel like some people would feel that Kachi Katchin is stronger than how it's been shown in the show, and that maybe Kachi Katchin has been nerfed a lot in the Tournament of Power. It's weird to talk about nerfing for a material rather than for a character, but it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The sheer idea that Kachi Katchin can be so easily broken. And I feel that Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue Goku, even though we haven't seen it done in the show yet, this is just my opinion, I believe Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 Goku is stronger than Super Saiyan Berserk Kale. That's my opinion. We haven't seen that fight yet. There's no way to really know. But if that is unleashing more power than Kale, and Kale's mere footsteps can destroy Kachi Katchin, can leave considerable dents and damage Kachi Katchin, then I don't think Kachi Katchin will allow Goku to push himself beyond, as his body seems more or less weaker than Kachi Katchin. I mean, no, his body seems overall stronger than Kachi Katchin. Now, could it help Goku in other ways? Maybe it won't allow him to ascend to higher forms due to the fact that the material doesn't honestly seem to be that strong, even though it's the strongest material in the multiverse, as it's been stated. But, well, no, it hasn't been stated to be the strongest material in the multiverse, but at least stronger than Universe 7's Katchin. And you can use context clues to assume, because it still hasn't been stated, that it is the strongest material in the multiverse. That being said, though, Goku has been shown to, when being caught off guard or to have not trained, to be able to take damage from something as minuscule as like a bullet, which is ridiculous. I understand. But Goku getting bruised by a bullet when he hasn't trained is something that I couldn't really see happening if his body was made out of Kachi Katchin. Kachi Katchin, I believe, would stop a bullet, no problem. So if Goku was just regularly shape-shifting himself to be made out of Kachi Katchin, and he could even do so while making his physical appearance look the same. So they could do this in a way where we could have Goku where you can see that he's made out of Kachi Katchin when he shapeshifts, for like merchandising, for t-shirts and mugs and action figures. But then he could also, due to it being shapeshifting and he can transform into anything, he transforms himself into Kachi Katchin, but he still looks like his normal base so that he can still live a normal life. We could see stuff like this no longer be a thing. You know, if my body is normally made out of the strongest material in the universe, then a bullet shouldn't be able to wound it. This is also going to be a really big thing when we talk about whether or not his body being made out of Kachi Katchin would allow him to ascend to higher levels of Kaioken, because you end up with the argument of, well, Goku's body can be damaged by a bullet, you know, but we can safely say that Kachi Katchin would not be damaged by a bullet. So shouldn't he be able to hit higher levels of Kaioken if he's made out of Kachi Katchin? I don't fucking know. The show has been jumping around too much on stuff like this for me to be really sure. And I know this was only like one example, but let's talk about a Goku who's trained up. You know, one who let himself get like weaker to the point of being harmed by a bullet. What about when Goku was shot by a laser? It was really lame. No, we all agree. Nobody liked this. No one liked seeing Goku laser and it actually like hurting him. It really shouldn't have hurt him. He should have been fine. But if he was made of Kachi Katchin, it's another one of those things. I don't feel like the laser that Frieza's henchman shot would have penetrated through Goku's body. I feel like he would have been fine. So I feel like there are definitely, most definitely, benefits to Goku being made out of Kachi Katchin. I feel like he'd be able to tank really small attacks that shouldn't harm him with the greatest of ease. I feel like opponents who are above, saying above some of these levels is not right, below some of the levels of the fighters in the Tournament of Power, because they've demonstrated that to them Kachi Katchin isn't shit, but like lower level opponents who still have like some strength won't be able to put like a scratch on him, is my overall argument for like him being made out of Kachi Katchin. I feel like it makes him more durable whenever his guard is down or whenever he hasn't trained in a long time, to where he's still like physically durable enough to the point where he's like practically invulnerable when fighting weaker opponents, or when people are shooting common laser blast at him or bullets. You know, it makes him more of a bulletproof, laser-proof threat. So do I think him being made out of Kachi Katchin could make him more powerful? Debatable. It's debatable whether or not it would allow him to reach higher levels of Kaioken or not. But do I think it would make him stronger or more durable? Most definitely, and I could see it definitely being something that they could do in the show. Not saying they will do it, but based on the background that's already been provided, it's totally possible. Also, you could easily argue that because you can transform into anything if you master shapeshifting, then Goku could just turn his body into a material that's stronger than Kachi Katchin, because anything includes anything that you can imagine, and if you simply imagine a material that's stronger and more durable than Kachi Katchin, then you could become that. And that would allow you to get around a lot of the other things about Kachi Katchin and whether or not it would allow him to reach higher levels of Kaioken Blue. So, with all that being said, what do you guys think in the comment section below? Do you think that Goku would benefit from shapeshifting his body into Kachi Katchin? Do you think it's a stupid idea? Do you think the show would ever go in that direction? And if not the show, could the manga? Hit us up. We'd love to hear from you all. If you like this video, make sure to like this video, favorite, comment, and subscribe. We would love to see you guys check out our videos, comment on them in the future, and ding, 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 ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever we release more content. Also, as stated before, make sure to check out some of our other content. Right now, what seems to be really popular is Young Justice Season 3, new characters and character redesigns. It's a full discussion video where we analyze the different characters and designs and talk about some of the lore behind the newer characters. So tell us what you guys think about that. Post in the comment section below. Like, favorite, subscribe, and have a wonderful day, everyone. This is your host, Jet Black, logging out.